so glad that everybody could join us for this. Want to send a special shout out to everybody that showed up today and everybody that's going to watch this recording later and listen to us. So you are all in our minds and hearts as we share what we have to offer. We're really going to have some gems in these conversations. I'm going to go ahead and be your summit guide. My name is Lara Foster. I'm a 15-year coaching veteran. I'm also an author, just released my first fiction novel called The Healing Gem of Arcadia, and I'm also a software developer, so I wear a lot of hats. So today I'll be your guide through all of these speakers. I'm so excited with what they're going to share. Just a couple of notes as we get started. This is going to be an interactive session. We would love your participation. So if you have questions as our speakers are sharing, feel free to go ahead and put your question in the chat. We just ask that you put a Q in front of it so we know it's not just a comment or something that we're chatting about. And if there's a Q in front of it, we'll go ahead and grab it at a timely manner and present it to the speaker. You can also, you're invited to raise your hand so everybody can see at the bottom of their Zoom bar, the reactions button, there's a raise hand. Feel free to press that at any time. And same thing applies. I'll go ahead and try to invite you into the conversation at a timely manner so we can bring your question to the speaker at the time. And I'll remind you this along the way, so don't feel like you need to remember, but just do your best. Ask questions, have an open mind, open heart. We're here to learn together. So first of all, I am super stoked to get to our speakers. We've got 5 of them coming up today. But first, I would like to introduce you to the presenters of the Thriving Minds Summit. This summit is presented by Blue Chip Minds, also known as Georgia Ellis, and Breathe, Rise, and Thrive, also known as Jaleel Mackey. So I just wanted to bring them on first. And to the two of you, I'm so curious, what was the inception of this idea, the Thriving Mind Summit? How did that come about? Why are we here today?
Hey, Lara, and thank you so much for such a warm welcome. And for those who are able to, I'd love to be able to see faces. I know that when we're talking as a presenter on Zoom, it's really nice to see faces that we're talking to. But back to your question, Lara, how did this come about? Its inception was last year around September, October. I was just thinking and reflecting on the work I'd been doing in the corporate space. And a lot of the information that I was bringing through to people, I was quite surprised that a lot of people didn't have the necessary tools, information, or practices to help them truly thrive. And I got thinking about that. And at the same time, I started thinking about, well, there's a lot of things out there, but there's also a lot of people don't generally invest money in themselves. So how can we bring this information to them in a way that's a gift? How can we give a gift to the world and bring together some incredible people who are passionate about what they're doing that can bring this information to people who are wanting to thrive, who are wanting to show up and also hopefully to make a world a better place. So I had this idea, and the first person that popped into my head was Jaleel. Jaleel and I had done some work previously, and you'll get to meet him throughout the summit. He's an absolutely incredible soul. So I reached out to him. He was my first point of contact. And I said, I've got this idea. What do you think? And so I reached out to Jaleel. And so Jaleel, you can take it from there.
Happy to, Georgia. Hello, everyone. Jaleel Mackey. So grateful to be with you all. When Georgia came to me with this idea, the first thing I said was like, hell yeah, I want to be a part of this. This is amazing. What a wonderful idea to offer to the world a gift of coming together and developing skills and tools and frameworks to be able to navigate life today. And the question that Georgia asked me, because I spend a lot of my time working with folks that are in the corporate environment, I too wear many hats. I run BRT. I'm also a sales manager for a mental health technology company, and I spend a lot of times talking with HR professionals to understand how they can better support their employee populations. And Georgia asked me the question, not leading in any way. This is the first question she asked me. Hey, like, what are you hearing out there in these conversations with various folks that you're connecting with? And I said, well, I'm hearing a lot of people who are noticing the importance of mental health, emotional connection, supporting themselves, but they don't necessarily have the tools to be able to do so, right? There's a big learning curve that exists here. And it happened to be very similar to what Georgia was hearing in the space as well. And so I was really excited. My entire life at this point is built around supporting people with their own mental health journey and navigating that. And so any opportunity to work with Georgia is always a hell yes. And any opportunity to work with Georgia and Lara is a hell yes. And then all of the speakers that are coming together today is just a beautiful collection of people who really care deeply about the things that they work on, that they share with the world, and oftentimes are showing up in ways to support people with developing a deeper understanding of themselves, and then as a result of that, connecting more deeply with the people that they serve. So I'm super grateful to be here. I'm excited to see how this all unfolds as well, because it truly is going to be a co-creative process with each and every one of us in this room together. That's enough from me. I'll pass it back to Lara to keep us rolling.
I just want to add one thing before you jump in, Lara. Some of the things that, like Jaleel, some of the things that I was noticing in the work, but not in the work that I do, but also just in general in life and in the communities that we're all a part of, was this sense of disconnection. And we were starting to be disconnected, this sense of distraction, this sense of, I'm going to use the term dis-ease, not as if it's like we were in a state of not at ease with ourselves in life, and there's just so much going on. I don't know whether it was a hangover from the pandemic or just because life was getting faster. So that's why we're here, to give you the tips, tools, frameworks, ideas to be able to thrive and to move forward. So please, as Lara said, ask questions. We will have some opportunities for you to interact with each other while you're here. If you need to jump in and jump out because of other commitments, please do so. We'll be running this until, well, it depends what time zone you're in, but for approximately 5 hours, we're going to be here together. We will put some bio breaks in there for you as well. So enjoy. Thank you so much for joining us. Back to you, Lara.
Thank you so much. Wow, what I heard from both of you. Disconnection, distracted, dis-ease. So if anybody out there is noticing that around their world, in their corporate environment, in their families perhaps, this is a great place to be. We're going to have some connection. We're going to bring some awareness and bring some ease to that and show you some tips and tools of how to weave that together, which actually brings me to our first presenter. This is a perfect segue for me to introduce to you Erica Peng. She is going to be speaking today about restoring wholeness and worthiness in a culture of chronic disconnection. Erica is an executive coach and faculty at University of California, Haas School of Business. Her course, Interpersonal Skills and Embodied Systems Leadership, is one of the most popular in the graduate MBA program. Drawing on her experience and wisdom, she will help you understand why a large proportion of society are feeling disconnected from their work and each other, and the flow-on effects of our disconnected lives. She will show you what you can do right now to reignite trust and deeper emotional connection in your professional and personal relationships. Erica's leadership development methodology, designed for connection, synthesizes neuroscience, systems thinking, social identity, interpersonal and group dynamics, and experiential learning. The cornerstone is the Peng process, a curated progression of structured individual and interpersonal practices that guides leaders through many repetitions of learning by doing. It is my pleasure to introduce you all to the opening speaker of the Thriving Mind Summit, Erica Peng.